amount of money that is there in the markets or in economy, we call it liquidity. If the liquidity is way too much, people start spending too much. When you are spending too much, inflation increases. To keep increase the rates. So you have less money, you spend, inflation goes down. Again, too much low inflation indicates recession. That is, the economy is not sound, so they will decrease the rates. Comes more money, it's a vicious cycle, it keeps on going. India's foreign trade. Foreign trade is very important because if more dollars come into an economy and less money goes out, less spent. Suppose $100 are coming into a country from any trade, can be from tourism, it can be from investment, it can be with collaboration, or it can be in any form. And you are spending only 550 and only 50 rupees worth of dollar is going out. So basically, your own currency is getting strong and your forex reserves are increasing. Forex reserves are very important when we import because no country is going mostly as you must be aware that government is trying to internationalize the rupee. Basically, they want to trade goods with rupees, but the country should be able to do it. So if we are talking to US that we are buying goods from you, but you take money, our rupee, and give us back rupee, that is strengthening rupee as a whole. But when we have to trade in dollars, dollars get strengthened and rupee depreciates. So exports are India are a major thing. We export majorly agricultural product as well as mineral ores. India is one of the major exporters of iron ore to Japan as well as to Germany. We produce the best quality iron ore, but unfortunately, we lack the technology to produce very high grade and well refined world class steel, which Japan does. And we are, however, there's a plus side. We are one of the largest petroleum refining countries in the world. So the crude oil that we are refining is very nice, and we are sending refined crude oil to other countries. And Reliance and ONGC are major players over there. I hope you have heard the names of these countries. Sector-wise analysis. So sector-wise analysis, agriculture is contributing 20% only. The contribution of agriculture has reduced significantly, even though the produce has increased. If we compare it with the 1950s, India's production was less, but because of tremendous contribution of Dr. Subramaniam, called as the father of Green Revolution, India production has increased. But still, India is producing cash crops only, like sugarcane, rice, and majority of it is consumed by ourselves only. Production is not problem. We have ramped up the production, but what causes the problem is whether we are going able to save it for import or not. Export, sorry. So our exports in agriculture products are less, and sometimes the consumption increases so much. Or just like we have a couple of years ago, there were rains, so we had to import pulses. India is still importing sunflower. Sunflower is not produced in a country; we import it. India is importing honey. India is importing pulses also. A consumption, there's a deficit between demand and supply. So a demand is way high and supply is less. Industry manufacturing, we have done very nice. We have ramped up our steel production quite a lot. But now, if you have seen the analysis of steel sector, there are some issues over there. China is producing cheaper steel than us, and people here over here are getting 1 ton of steel at somewhere around $30 to $40 lesser as compared to our steel. So they tend to buy Chinese steel. So this has caused disruption in Indian steel market. And recently we were having a case study where we were asked how could we handle it. So one of them is to ramp up the production more, and government needs to buckle up a bit and give more production link discounts to the company so that we are at par with the Chinese steel and better quality. Even though our steel has better quality compared with China, but we are facing a strict competition over there. Even though we are producing significantly higher compared to previously, and good thing our deficit of steel production between demand and supply has reduced, and we are surplus over there, so we are able to import as well. Infrastructure development. Okay, infrastructure development in India has been tremendous, especially when it comes to past 10 years. If we see in railways, almost 100% track electrification is done, whereas if we see in US, it's still at 60%. 60%, 30%, 40%. So we have done a tremendous job over there, because the major spending that we were doing on logistics in terms of our GDP was 15 to 20, somewhere around 14 to 16% of our GDP was spent on logistics. That is transportation cost. Because of that, transportation costs of goods were increasing. So government got this really good idea to ramp up the making world class highways, roadways, as well as development of more ports and especially rail. They have invested huge amount of money in railways, and now they are giving it risk dividends that we have been able to reduce the logistics cost to 10% of the GDP, and the ideal target is at 12%. Sorry, and the ideal target is 10%. For us, 8% is still out of reach. It will take at least 10 to 15 years to get over there. Transportation now covering distances for 100 and 200 kilometers, we can easily can be done in almost an hour, especially with the infrastructure ramp up in UP and Western India. They're an excellent road, so transportation has become really very easy. And digital infrastructure, the payment solutions and the payment gateways that our country has developed are unmatched and next to none. Even America surprisingly doesn't have such kind of ease of transferring money from one account to another in an effortless way. Digital transformation. Digital transformation, especially digital banking and digital payments. We are all aware. Even I go to ATM once only, and that too 500 rupees only. We are turning cashless, and this has benefited us. It has got more transparency. Government has a clear account how much spending is done and where it is being spent, from which account the money is transferred and where it is transferred. So because of that, it has got more transparency, better, and less fraudulent practices are there. And digital banking is leveraging technology for digital payments and providing digital payment solutions. And now you can apply for a loan, home loan, education loan, from a click of your smartphone. That is what digital transformation has done. As I said, digital transformation has increased efficiency. For a simple loan application of my education loan, my brother has to really uh, spend somewhere 5 to 6 months, but for me from SBI, it was done in 15 days. So that is because of digitalization, the amount of time that has reduced. And new business model. Previously, people were not aware of uh, digital business models like e-commerce. If we see the rise of e-commerce in India is phenomenal, and giants like Amazon are struggling to bear the competition from Indian counterparts like Flipkart. Okay, now Flipkart is acquired by Walmart, but still, it is an Indian startup started by the Indians. So even Amazon is facing losses here because from our e-commerce giants. And secondly, our food delivery apps. The concept of food delivery apps was not existing 5 to 6 years ago, and now Swiggy and Zomato are one of the most valuable startups, and Zomato is going to be a part of Sensex 50. So this is how new business models have emerged, and majority of the business is being done electronically, and the cost have also reduced because the distribution chain has been shortened. When the distribution chain is long, you have to buy a product at a higher rate and sometimes at MRP. But when the distribution chain is reduced, the cost of goods decreases. So this is significant. As we can see, the products that we buy online are cheaper because the manufacturer is directly selling to the consumer. All the middlemen are eliminated. There are some key initiative under Digital India. Government has increased connectivity, digital literacy. There's a difference between literacy and digital literacy, and India has the highest digital literacy in the world. Out of every four people, three people in India are digitally literate. They know how to operate smartphones. They know how to do things. They know how to do digital banking. We are very good when it comes to uh, digitalization and digital assets. Now, impact of digitalization on financial inclusion and cashless transaction. So, what is financial inclusion? Financial inclusion is a term that refers to how many people are covered by your banking system, or in very simple terms, how many people in your country have a bank account. Greater the number of people that have an account in a nationalized bank, greater is your financial inclusion. Before digitalization, the financial inclusion was not that much, and the scheme that of Prime Minister bought, PMJ, Pradhan Mantri Janadhan Yojana, because of that, some 10 to 15 to 20, 10 in first phase is towards 10, now somewhere 15 to 20 crore accounts have been opened in Janadhan Yojana. So because of that, our financial inclusion broadened. Even the people belonging to lower strata of a country have now access to banking services. Because of this, there is a direct benefit transfer. They get all the schemes that are being framed by the government, and those whosoever are eligible are getting entire funds directly transferred in their accounts. So it has got more transparency. It has got more faith from people's part into the system, as well as, yes, now we are getting what we deserve, and the government is just caring about it. And for the banks, definitely they're getting more money, even though government is transferring the money to account holders, but still the money is there on banks. So as an economy, there is even more money, more spending, so we are flourishing more and more. Then there are technologies like artificial intelligence. India has one of the largest, is going to be one of the largest contribution in artificial intelligence. Yesterday also I was reading one article from Zoho founder where it was said that artificial intelligence is going to eat up job, but that is not the case. It is going to create the job, and this is the golden opportunity for us because the skill and talent in artificial intelligence are much more with the Indian youth in compared with other countries. So if, and the people those who are being required to handle all these are data scientists. So European countries, especially American countries and European countries, they do not have very well expert data scientists. And in India, as a workforce, we have the largest number of data scientists. People are now, so that is a golden opportunity, especially for data analyst also. You become data analyst, then you become data scientist. So the number of opportunities that are going to be there for Indians are going to be enormous, especially in artificial intelligence. Smart cities. Smart cities, India, after China, has the largest number of smart cities where they're digitally connected. They have sound infrastructure and one of the major economic hub and a smart city that is gathering the attention of all the investors is Gift City in Gujarat. It's Gujarat Fintech City. I hope you have heard about it, and if not, then please do Google about it. It is getting immense, uh, what I say, investment from foreigners because of the sound facilities that is providing. There is internet access, there are banking, everything is over there, and the land also, tailor-made infrastructure. Everyone wants to go over there. Now challenges. The biggest challenge that we all face is the cybersecurity. Establishing cybersecurity is a major problem, I mean, it's a challenge, not a problem, in a sense that there are mechanisms and there are cybersecurity experts, but the cyber attacks are continuously happening, and keeping them in check is a challenge. Data privacy, it is very important for all the companies. Even if you install a single app on your laptop, or for that matter, especially on your smartphone, then it wants access to all your contacts, photos, and all that. So there, it is the job of the concerned authorities to ensure that the data of the subscriber is not leaked, because the data often tends to be sensitive in nature. We have our phone knows more about us than we do. You have banking information on your phone, you have your personal stuff on your phone, so it has to be protected, and ensuring that sometimes is a challenge. Now, there are some case studies. Case studies is where we can say e-commerce growth in India. E-commerce growth in India is phenomenal. Now, at tech moments, I hope there is a thing called as Kisan Connect. Kisan Connect is an agricultural-based startup where they are providing you directly fresh vegetables to you. And then there is, everyone must have heard about it, this milk brand. I'm not aware, I'm just forgetting its name. They are directly supplying milk to your doorsteps by eliminating all the middlemen. You order it online and it will be delivered to your home, and it is founded by the alumni from IIM Indore, and is going to be a unicorn very soon. So these are all the case stories. Then there is Zoho founder. Zerodha is there. Previously to Zerodha, uh, opening a demat account and investing in market was very tough, but Zerodha came with a very groundbreaking app that you all we need are 20 rupees. You give us 20 rupees, we will open your demat, and then you be boss of your own demat and do trading. Because of that, the amount of trading, the money that is traded on a stock exchange has increased, and the amount of demat holders today in India is somewhere around 1 crore. Previously, which used to be in lakhs. So because of this, all the digitalization, we have more access to information, we have more access to technology, and literally we have access to everything is there on the tip of our fingers. So this is from my side, and you guys are welcome to ask questions on economies. But before I note end, I have some very nice suggestions to give, especially when it comes to interview guidance. Whenever we are going for interview guidance, we have a misconception that it is the interviewer who's driving the interview, but that is not the case. Let me tell you, it is you who's driving your interview. So before you are going for interview, make sure that you come up with a story. For example, recently I came across someone was guiding me, and she told me when I was going for my IIM interview, GDPI interview, she told that I have done my graduation from Delhi. I was born here. I grew up here. I got into business because my father, I want to pursue MBA because my uncle was running a small time shop, and I saw all these things from him. I have so many hobbies. I have vested interest in literature, like that. So here she was using and she graduated, but she did not mention what kind of graduation. She had so many hobbies, but she did not mention what kind of a hobby. She said she likes to cook, but she did not mention what kind of a cook. So this time you are using loopholes, and suppose let's say you say that I did engineering, but you did not mention what kind of engineering. This will spark a curiosity in the interviewer, and then he might ask you. And suppose engineering is your strongest forte, then you ask what kind of engineering. You say I've done CSC. You might ask which subject you like in C. You say data security. He'll ask about data security, so you can drive entire interview in the way you want. And this is the very basic question that interviewers are asking you. Tell me something about yourself. This question lays the foundation for your entire interview. If you want, you can be prepared. This is the second important last thing that now, whenever you are going for a campus interview, be prepared with one question that you are supposed to ask to the interviewer. At least one question. They expect you to ask one question. And if you do not have a question, it creates a bad impression of yourself. And basically try to dress up formally, use very light perfume. So there was some cliche also. She told me my guidance, when you're going, put a little bit of perfume on your breast. So when person is offering you to do a handshake, there's a very fine aroma on his hand, and it does have a very small impact, and he might get intrigued. But do not shake hands from your side. Shake hands only when you are invited. Make sure you have a relaxed composure, and try to be as humble as with your answer, especially for the fractions. Being street smart is not appreciated. I hope it was quite insightful for you guys. Thank you. Any questions? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So there was a call drop, and some of them prefer to pay in cash because transaction. Mhm. Yes, sir. Okay. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Sir, it is not a burden. I think I face the same problem, but for that there are safer solutions. Each and every bank has its own app, and there is thing called as NIFT and RTGS. So I use SBI Yono when I have to make payments greater than 1 lakh. I had to transfer for 5 to 6 lakhs to my mother's account. So I go for SBI Yono. Even I would suggest all the people, those who are there, if you have an account in a nationalized bank, all the nationalized bank have their own apps. Go for those apps, and those apps are very seamless. And even if your money is not transferred or stuck somewhere, they will take the responsibility for that money and ensure that your money comes back. And when the amounts of money are so larger, I hope banks do call you to ask for your confirmation whether you have done it or not. It is not a burden on digital India. It is a feedback for digital India, which might be corrected. But there are solutions, sir. Even I won't suggest transferring money above 1 lakh through UPI. 1 lakh is the max. 50,000 is the safe limit. Yes, I know circular economy, sir. Sir, circular economy in terms of rural India has improved. People are benefiting more and more, and unfortunately, sir, if the previous bills that were there found by the government, they would have been passed down, farmers would have benefited even more. But unfortunately, for some unknown reasons, they could not be there. So now the farmers are having more access, so they are able to sell goods directly to the government and to the consumer. So they are in benefit. I mean, earnings have increased almost 1.5 to 2 folds. I won't say 4 or 5, 6. So they are getting positive impacts are there on that also. Special. And secondly, sir, the banking services, they are having more access to that as well. Previously, they were somewhat they were just producing and the middlemen, the manufacturers were reaping major benefits. But now even farmers are able to get that. So you can, okay. No, sir. So you can ask anything about budget also. I've just had a glance. Uh, so Digital India has small businesses immensely now. I hope these guys are heard of ONDC, Open Network for Digital Commerce. Uh, has anyone heard of about Open Network for Digital Commerce?
Yes, ma'am.
So that is also part of the Digital India, and Digital India has bought small the people belonging to MSME more accessibility to financial services. Applying for a job, especially loan, getting a loan for MSME was very tougher. And because of Digital India, now their PAN card and all these informations, they can easily get loan. There is Mudra Yojana for them, and they can apply for it and easily get loan. Even stall owner or hawkers can also get loans. So because of Digital India, they have more accessibility to financial services. Because of Digital India, they are able to sell their products directly online. uh, Platforms are there. Amazon is there, Flipkart is there, Miso is there, as well as ONDC is there. ONDC is a platform of government where government is allowing manufacturers to sell their products directly to the consumers. And government, it's a UPI counterpart of government against Amazon. So you can say it's a version of Amazon, but for some unknown reasons, government is not promoting it that much, but it is there. So Digital India is helping, and especially now, as you can say, payments also. Previously, there used to be an issue of cash, but now even small vendors are using QR code. So their sales have increased surprisingly because I recently saw they are selling way much more because of QR codes. Any more questions?
Okay, ma'am. Thanks.
My pleasure. Okay, sir. Yes, sir. Sir, case study. Sir, so case study can be on any topic. There can be case study on social studies also, but considering these guys are from engineering, I would suggest I would say do a case study on UIDI. Recently, I was reading a book from Essentials of Management from Harold Cohns, and the way Americans sees this is the biggest innovation. That is Aadhaar card. Now, it is the job of these guys to say why Aadhaar is such a big innovation. This is one of the biggest innovation that that book was saying world has seen. Then there is UPI. They can do a case study on UPI. They can do a case study on Aadhaar, and then they can do a case study on I would say PLI, production linked schemes, and how they are impacting our economy, especially students belonging to mechanical department, electronics, and electrical. It is suggested that these guys do a case study on PLI schemes that government is running. And for CS student, I would like to say these guys should do a case study on generative AI and Gen AI, because I hope sir you are aware Gen AI made a pitch to I think Microsoft or sorry Google that at that time they were ready to give them 24% stake for 1 billion. and that time the offer was rejected. And now GenAI, now they have a valuation of $15 billion. So it would have amounted to $15 had they invested at that time. So such mistakes are there on investors' part as well. They could not see how generative AI is going to impact and how it's going to touch each and every aspect of our lives. So that was investment times of that was a myopia on their side, investment myopia. But those who invested, they are getting rich dividends. So I would like to suggest CS students could do a case study on that. And case study is something, sir, that we appreciate should be done in groups, and where should be involvement of each and every student, because many men, many mind, and each mind has its own way of thinking and might come up with something really incredible. And there is a channel from Idaho, Idaho Studios, Design Thinking Studio. I would suggest students to go through the contents of that channel and how design thinking is happening. And so, if CS students are doing a case study, they should employ design thinking over there. And so, you can guide them. I'm pretty much sure you must be well aware with design thinking and all that.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Garima, for giving the useful information about the such Indian economy and impact of the digital India. Thank you for giving information, sir.
Thank you, sir, for having me as well. Oh, that's okay, sir. It's okay, sir. Even my uh,
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. My privilege. Expertise and practical insights. Your encouragement. IQAC, ensuring the smooth execution of the seminar. Lastly, my sincere thanks to all the participants for their enthusiastic response and active involvement. Thank you all once again, and we look forward for more such enlightening events in the future. Have a great day ahead. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Garima.
thank
Now
you.
I request Now I request everyone to please keep their cameras on for a group photo